We head to the fiery plains of Inferno after Heroic converted their choice of map of Overpass. It's pretty simple for ForZe.
I see what you did there. Inferno, fiery plains. There's something there to that. There's something.
It loses its appeal, Dust, if you explain what I was going for.
I mean, I'm really good at losing people's appeal, then, so kind of just a thing I've mastered over the years, really. Yeah, absolutely. But or superpower of all time. Anyway, so we are going to be heading to Inferno, as Vince stated, and this is a map that ForZe is used to pretty great effect. I mean, they obviously were able to get some big wins at Blast Moscow, helped them get into those playoffs, had the win over Inside at NIP, had even a win over Avangard, the one map they did win in that series in the grand final, so definitely a map they'll feel more at home on, I think. And for Heroic, I think it's kind of hard to read there in front. They haven't played it that much. We did see them obviously have a very close loss to Avangard yesterday. It was like 14-16. They equally played well on the CT and T side. It was just a couple of rounds separated them from that victory, which is obviously part of the reason why they had to play some extra games yesterday. And okay, crowd's doing some waves. Okay. I don't know why they had the spirit fingers beforehand, but, you know, to each their own.
You know, they're trying to dabble in a bit of everything. At least we're not actually getting dabs, so I'm glad that fad's died.
Yeah, it seems like that is gone.
Thank God.
So that's always good. I thought you liked a good dab, Vince.
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. So no chance we get like a dab emote or anything like that?
Yeah, about that.
Even Richard cracked on that one, so I feel like maybe one day.
You know I already have one, right?
You do have a dab emote?
That's what you were going for.
Oh, I didn't know you had one already. You also do have an emoji where you are a literal, never mind.
Okay, be careful here.
Yeah, things that you do in the restroom. You do have one of those. And also one where you're a rat. So, I mean, you're really good with the emotes, if we're honest.
I'm not even sure how to respond to that.
You should. Let's just talk about the game now. Let's get back in the game.
ForZe and Heroic. Inferno. What are your expectations coming into this then, Dust?
A brawl. That's what I want to see. I want to see this one go the distance, Vince. I want all the rounds. I want taser kills. I want, you know, aces. I want the whole 9 yards.
Well, Inferno is definitely one of those maps that can certainly support those kind of plays and the real drama that Counter-Strike is so exquisite at delivering. Cadian takes a little bit of damage, but it was partially through the window, so only 6 in total. And he does get information for his troubles. So he's going to piece out of there and keep 2 players on A in the pit side. Also allowing Snappy to move in now on Arches. Not too far off, actually, on that shot. Cadian, again, is the only player that's taking any kind of confrontation. And Flint loses his head. The guillotine comes down. Cadian's not done just yet. 3 kills! 15 HP left. What a massacre.
Owned.
Wrecked.
Destroyed.
Demolished.
Wasted.
Eviscerated.
Crushed.
You got me.
Come on, man. Learn some new nouns. I feel like we had that one going for a while. But, I mean, there really is no other way to describe what just took place there. What can Jerry do in a 1v5, Vince? Are you feeling this clutch? Go ahead, get the pipes ready.
I'm not. If he can get the first kill, I'll begin to believe.
Okay. That's when you'll start building it?
Yeah.
All right.
But I think we have to be a bit realistic here that Jerry really is up against an insurmountable task, and well, Borup's at least going to clean it up fast. It gives him the mercy of at least finishing him off with 1 bullet.
There you go. I think that's like the most optimistic way you could probably spin that, as it started off with a bang here on this initial defense from Cadian and S-Tag, and then finished off quite quickly as well. You'll start seeing the SMGs come into play, a few rifles also. Just the pistols so far, saving up for the next round, obviously.
Yeah, Banana is definitely going to be hotly contested throughout the rounds, and this time it's Jerry that's on the receiving end of Stavin. Cadian's going to go unchecked, triple spray, padding them stats.
Sure thing, as it's going to be Burup finishing it off, losing no players in both of these rounds, so the economy is building, and so is the excitement of those fans of Heroic who see them take those steps closer to the grand finals. Already 1 map under their belts and a good start here on Inferno, but now the guns come out to play from ForZe. This is where they can start meeting Heroic head-on. They are a team, when I've watched them in the past, they really favor 1-4-B play. Like, they have like one guy kind of lurk alt mid, the rest are just going to be going quad into B control, and that's where the triple stacking that Heroic likes to do at B is going to be a big problem. Like, it's going to be a lot of direct contest at Banana, I feel like, with this utility, with the aggression. Stound's a very, very good B player on this side of the map, and then you have Burup, who is kind of that anchor point on the opposite side.
Oh, Borup caught with a nade out. You hate to see that happening. Just a complete misread of the timing. S-Attack now forced with his back against the box, quite literally, and face crack will alleviate him. And likely this round will follow. I mean, Heroic, their chances of retaking this weaponry are so slim. Why even bother trying? Just save. Keep the weapons going into the next round.
I thought there's like a mind games going on there. Like, Heroic knows that ForZe like the 4-1 towards B a lot to open up rounds. ForZe probably knows from watching the Avantgarde game yesterday that Heroic like to triple stack B early and really use their utility and really pressure that. And so they just catch a really big timing with a really fast arch push. So I really like that you're kind of seeing those kind of the chess moves kind of taking place here on the board that is Inferno between two teams where ForZe's tournament life is on the line. And so I'm hoping we're going to see some more of that, man. I hope we're going to keep seeing this back and forth because this has definitely been a nice series so far.
So all 8 players post-plant do survive to live to tell the tale. As you say, though, you are going to have another buy coming up shortly. Cadian could get an AWP, actually. He does drop an M4 to pick it up.
There you go. I just want to see if Heroic can keep it up. I mean, their defense on Overpass was so great, but again, ForZe is a very chaotic, very fast-paced team. They can really get in your face very early in these rounds. They can really stress you out with their wild play. Their roles are very flexible, so it's really hard to read this team. Cadian trying to do something aggressive at mid, and he is gifted the scalp of Flit.
Correct.
We're not doing this again. Owned.
Dustmeret's career. Cadian's out there. Almeza has been tagged, but he is the one player that did at least put down a Dane in the form of S-Attack. They are also a little bit worried about a potential banana push. They had nobody around this area for quite some time. Now they're going back to just make sure it is clear.
Yeah, kind of a late B control play here. It's really only going to be up to Stown, who's kind of defending this more passively. He does put a smoke down, though. He does have a flash. There's no smokes or incendiaries left, actually, so retaking B is going to be very difficult. And this is kind of a crazy time that Almazer might be finding on Snappy here. Snappy seems to be aware it's a possibility, but it's all going to come down to just the milliseconds of time between switching back and forth on targets. And Almazer will be the one that snips it out, and now Stown's in so much trouble. Almazer winning this round basically single-handedly now, it seems. It's going to be these two players just saving on the opposite side of the map. 2-2, Vince. Close early.
Hey, man, you said it. You said it would be a brawl, and so far, fists have been flying. Bit wild, though, that Heroic conceded that round. It was looking so very good for them. As you say, Almeza basically just picking this round, putting it in his backpack, and running to the finish line.
Yep, gets all the kills, gets the sneak play through CT spawn, catches the timing on Snappy, puts Down in a tough spot where he knows he's getting pinched. He wins that duel, and that's the round. And money is starting to get dangerously low here for the Danes.
Yeah, they are in that sort of territory where not too sure what the next buy is looking like. Snappy's going to be able to afford one at least. He's on 4.8k, but yeah, do they want to go behind it?
Tough to say. They say 2 guns. There is enough money maybe for some of the other players like to grab an SMG, like particularly S-Attack has enough for that type of thing. So I do feel like they probably will go ahead and go for it. They know that they still have this game close. This is an early part of the game, so you can kind of take more risk like this. And so there you have it. S-Attack is going to get the UMP, and then they have 3 reinforced and an AWP, so not too shabby. Someone else has to step up, though, besides Cadian. We're not seeing Stown and Burrup have the start that we're used to seeing, so those guys I feel like are going to be the X factors. Heroic are going to start contesting ForZe here. As ForZe looks to just kind of control apartments heavy-handedly to kick this one off.
Well, there's nothing friendly about this Casper. 8-0 and have well over 150 ADR.
Still a nice guy, though.
He's a lovely guy. One of the nicest pros you'll meet, to be completely honest. 2 players going back into pit. Burrup in the meanwhile on arches.
This will be interesting. This double pit setup is actually perfect for defending this type of apartments pop unless they do get mollied out or, you know, nade stacked or a flash is effective. We're seeing Flit and Jerry actually really put the pressure on B, and all this is designed to do is keep these players in place. They don't want any type of rotation taking place, and they might even get the added benefit of pulling one of the 8 players over, which they have indeed done. Burrup has been able to drift. This is the danger of having low utility. You know, you can't really play for retakes. You have to bite a little bit earlier on pressures like that. And this is going to soften up that A defense in a big, big way.
Now, first point of contact is going to be snapped. Do the anticipate a double stack here in amongst the smoke. The stray bullets going all over the wall. And now this is where Attack can show his hand. One kill, looking for a second, claims it. Reaping all the souls of A. What a play from Attack. That is sublime.
As you said, you can't expect two to be there. Maybe you see like one balcony, one pit, maybe one mini pit, one big pit. Those are the more common setups you see, not two players hiding inside the smoke. First player is just cannon fodder, but then it really is just what allows the ace to come out of Heroic's sleeve on that re-push with the UMP from Attack. He wins him the round, goes up to 4 kills. That is a brilliant play with limited resources from Heroic. And here's that 4-1B opener.
Molly allows them to stay in this position. Once that clears, though, they are going to back away. There we have it. Stabbin, though. First kill. It's the other AWP over on B that struck.
And all this utility just continues to slow ForZe down from exploding those 4 players on the B bomb site. And they've already lost one of them, so it's just the 3 left towards this area. We're starting to see Face Crack, who normally lurks towards alt, meeting up. So it is going to be that B play. They do have a couple of smokes for CT spawn coffins. They have Molotovs for Nubox and perhaps oranges, just whatever they want to do here. But there are 2 on the site to defend. And Burup's right there to help from CT spawn.
Classic smoke, CT and coffins. Going to be dealt with. Stabbin actually just going to be peering, though, from dark. Molly has been extinguished. They're wasting a lot of time, though. Now ForZe going to be pushing behind. This not be too many angles. A couple players caught with nades. Now Stabbin's going to miss. Uncharacteristically, it falls to Burup. But again, he's just being swarmed by multiple angles. There's too many bodies up against him. Cadian thinking, but maybe pushing through. Right idea. Actually connects a couple shots there. And it's Attack's nade, though, will bring us to a 2-on-2. HP favoring the Danes. Positionally, though, ForZe do have the advantage. That flashbang is perfect. And now Face Crack, 31 HP to try and cultivate something. And there's the first, looking for the second, but the spray's not going to connect. And another big play, another big round from Attack.
Gotta give Cadian credit, though, too, man. He got his kill. He had a brilliant flashbang, and you can see that he's riled up now. That was such a brilliant retake. There's no way they should be winning that round. The P defense folded with no frags, essentially. Only Burup from spawn was able to find one. I think Stound just got caught in an off time where he had a smoke in his hand. Snappy missed his shot, and you're thinking, all right, this is where ForZe is going to come through. But no, the retake does come in, despite the odds, and now they're up 4-2, and they have ForZe on a very limited buy, Vince. It's where they can start building that big lead.
They are right on the precipice of a special CT round, but can ForZe climb up and knock them off? Hefty nade damage at the beginning. 1 flash remains. And it's just been tossed out to take top banana control. That's not going to help them deal with this Molotov. They decide to just run straight through there. They're not afraid of fire. Maybe they should have been. It's another massacre. It's another clean sweep. And it's another round for Heroic.
Winter wasn't coming there on Banana, not this time, as we see another flawless victory from Heroic. They're starting to build up a massive economy now for the long term of this half. The ForZe need to find something out very quickly. Again, they got to be shaking their heads. They probably felt like they should have had that previous round where they took B and got the clean entries, but just couldn't hold off that retake. And what is this from Heroic?
They are going straight down middle. It's a nade stack, second nade. They're going to take the confrontation. It hasn't quite worked out as well as they were hoping for, especially as Flit just darts around the corner and takes him out. Snappy now has a chance. Doesn't work out either.
That is the exact same aggression they tried to do against Avantgarde yesterday, and it's basically the exact same result. It just doesn't pan out. You have to think, yeah, sure, you want to change the pace, you want to keep ForZe guessing. Your aggression worked on overpass. You win that round. You really have ForZe's heads at that point, like you just have free real estate in their minds. But not going to happen. But maybe, just maybe, in the 2-on-4, they still figure it out. They did figure out that retake last round.
They're split up. And now Burup is going to get the call to maybe come back and reinforce A. Decides better of it. The bomb just round the corner in the hands of Jerry. He's going to get smoked out. This could come down to a timing play. If he peeks that smoke at the right moment, it could still be on. For Burup, not too far away, does a chunk of damage. But Cadian with the AWP doesn't have too much of a hope of getting back onto the site unless he gets peeked and finds his kill, but it's face cracked from middle. It takes him down instantly afterwards.
Yeah, living up to his name there, finding him between the eyes, and that's a third round for ForZe. The Russians are starting to get back onto the board, but again, that money is there for Heroic thanks to what we've been able to see them do these last 3 rounds prior to that one, winning a lot of clean victories. Yeah, it's just this aggression up alt mid just wasn't fruitful at all. But now that they're back to playing normal, maybe we'll see them get back to success, but this is also ForZe's chance to crack into this half.
Decent nade damage again. It's Almazer and Flick that take the brunt of it, but it's C-Power. Had a slow start to Inferno, but was one of the highlights on ForZe over on Overpass. Flashbang out, Pete comes into play. Almazer thwarts the attempt.
Yeah, this aggression is starting to get shut down by ForZe. They're starting to really kind of just play back, kind of wait things out, be patient, and then deliver the impact frags when it matters most. And so it looks like they're on their way to round number 4, unless this rotation from Burrup can do better than the previous round. Last time he lined up a spray down, only got 1. He'll have to do even better now. Also a bit of a timing going on here. As that attack does drift into CT spawn, he wants to help reinforce B. But there is that chance now. Because of that, that face crack could lurk behind him and be a real problem.
Burrup sneaking. Trying to bide his time behind coffins. Hoping he doesn't get pushed into one. Well, that's exactly what happened.
He is conveniently right next to it, so
yeah.
They don't even have to lift him very far to put the nails in.
How kind of him.
I know.
Even thoughtful in death.
What a lad. 5 on 4 now where things are sitting. Finally, Heroic has blown all their money, so they will be on the ramen diet of college students going into this next round. But Stound, Vince, there is indeed an interesting tool on the field.
I didn't even have to look to know what it was. Another Zeus. 4-player stack over on the A side. Stavin's position next to the apps. Now, unfortunately, Dust,
yeah, that's
not going to break your heart again.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like he's going to get to use it.
Probably not.
There's a dink. Jerry's being a real pain in the ass. More than that? Okay.
Snappy said, get out of my house. This B-bomb side is mine. Trying to just keep darting back and forth, trying to see if he can do a little bit more, but Jerry finally has enough of it, and face cracks found Stound, so that taser definitely not going to have any impact now. Does seem like we're about to see that ticker go up to 5 and a tie game on our hands. Can't really see Heroic doing too much now, just 3 USPs, and they're all in the wrong place. As that bomb drifts towards that B-bomb site. And so there you have it, Vince. Another close game on our hands to kick off these playoffs here in Rotterdam. You do love to see it.
This is why I love Inferno so much, man. It's just tailor-made for close, immersive games.
It is the classic, isn't it? I mean, obviously Dust 2 is like the most noticeable map, even for outsiders, but Inferno is the bread and butter map of this game, I feel like. So many classic map 3s throughout the years.
I definitely agree with that.
I mean, 20 years of Counter-Strike, and I feel like Inferno is just one of those iconic figures.
Of course, Cash on the horizon, maybe making a re-entry sooner rather than later, but the last battleground that we'll be visiting, if ForZe can convert from here, will be Nuke. Another oldie, but goodie. FaceCrack going to be pushing down Banana. There's going to be a flashbang in there looking for a kill. It doesn't actually affect FaceCrack at all. So that's just a cleanup in the middle aisle. 4K to his name.
Money is back, though, now for Heroic, so a chance to get that rifles out. They're not going to have enough money for the AWP, though. This is a team that likes to run double op even at times with Stound over towards B and Cadian over towards the A side. Which makes me wonder, like, with this timeout, are they thinking to themselves, you know what, maybe we should go upgraded pistol armor, some utility, you know, maybe buy down to, like, the 2,500 range or something like that and make sure that we get a nice full buy in the next round. I mean, they basically are going to be approaching very close to max loss bonus after a loss here. So that could be it. But also, fair enough, they have enough money just to go for M4s and utility and armor. It's just, you're not going to have as many nades for retake situations. Maybe you're going to be lacking a kit. And so that means that you kind of have to fight forward. And their playstyle is still utility reliant, especially at Banana. So this does mean they have more limited options.
Limited options, but hefty amounts of M4s. Definitely going to give them a little bit of hope. This round can still steer in their favor. Boosted up. Cadian playing anti-flash. Another flash coming in. Good read of the scenario, though. Oh, he's pulled the smoke out. The timing could not have been worse, but there's multiple CTs to pick up the slack. Crossfire in, but C-Power spinning around, lands the P250 headshot. I'm not entirely sure what the hell just happened, but now Stavin, through the smoke of Library, can look to shush a couple of terrorists. It's the smoke, he's been caught out in the open. And ForZe gonna take the lead.
And that's why ForZe is synonymous with chaos to me. That's just the type of play style they bring. Sometimes they're just gonna load up the box with all their players, are just gonna charge in, and they're gonna go gung-ho trade mode. The problem with that was there was actually kind of a triple port setup there, which is very hard to break when you're trying to get control of brackets, especially because there was a late peek as well from Arc side. So a really brilliant crossfire from Heroic, and they got the first couple of kills seemingly going their way, but as you know, there was a little bit of a mistiming where I think Cadian pulled out a smoke because he figured his teammate under ports would cover him while he pulled it out to re-smoke mid. Unfortunately, he dies because his teammate doesn't quite get the trade fast enough, and then in the blink of an eye, all of a sudden, ForZe lights up your kill feed, and they have a 6th round on the board. Again, that is just kind of the style that they have. And they thrive in that chaos, I feel like, and it makes it very hard for defenses to deal with them. That's why I thought it was so brilliant. Heroic did have the counters on Overpass. That was, you know, them kind of showing that they were able to handle that. But on Inferno thus far, they've lost the last 4 rounds in a row ever since the economy was back in order for the Russians, and they were able to get rifles in their hands. It's really been a tough time for the Danes. It's only going to get harder in a round like this with just pistols.
Yeah, that last play was just kind of unfortunate timing. Speaking of which, Almeza and Flit will be feeling just that. Pushing up Banana as the grenades fall upon them. 5 smokes, plenty of opportunities to stall and starve ForZe of time. Not too much else apart from the smokes, though. ForZe just having a feeler as to where these CTs may be residing.
Yeah, things kind of come to a slowing point after some utility damage here, but again, we are seeing ForZe really loading up those numbers towards Banana. They do have some presence still towards the apartments in middle with Z-Power and Face Crack. Now those smokes come out on B. Are they going to commit all the way, though? The bomb's actually still back, so they couldn't use this as a bit of a thing to go back towards A later, and it seems that's going to be the case, but as I say that, Borup kind of has the read on it. He is rotating over. The problem is, again, they just don't have the firepower for this.
I feel like that may be as a result of typically they've already pushed through by now after those initial nades. So that's this stalled element is telegraphed it. But now obviously we can see the ForZe have gone back.
Yep. Double fake for a mid-B split. There's no presence towards Archway except for Stown, who's in spawn. So I feel like this is going to be very deadly.
Oh no.
Stown has no idea.
He's also rotating. This is just going to leave Snappy. He did land a pretty slick USP double headshot. Now they're backing away.
What is going on?
It's a game of musical chairs.
They're running into a stack, though, Vince. That gives CTs a little bit of a chance.
15 seconds. They're running into a stack with such little time remaining, and the P250s are starting to rip through the terrorists. The bomb needs to get on that site right now.
It's not going to
They cannot stall any longer. Flit going for the plant, just about going to get this. No, he won't. It's a millisecond too late. The indecision has cost ForZe so very much.
That is the problem you run into when you bleed the clock on an anti-eco. There is that 50-50 chance that you're going to run into a stack site and you're going to be in a lot of trouble. They were trying to manipulate rotations as best they could, but Heroic kept holding their ground, bro. They were really just riding on that gamble, and they were right. What a brilliant play there from Heroic. They tied up the game with so little. Now they're in that double op setup.
ForZe switching up the pace, maybe some frustration coming in. Shake it off by putting Heroic down quickly. Cadian, orb kill, flashes out. There's a counter flash tossed in instantly. Snappy was hoping his teammate was still alive to boost on, but finds out that Cadian's the victim of shrapnel. And now Borup.
They don't have the bomb.
It's back at T-spawn. They do have plenty of time, though, to play with, but someone is going to have to go get that. That's going to be Almeza's task.
But are they going to drain the bomb back up to A now? And then Burup's rotating in that direction, and Esatag's already here. If Esatag gets this kill, then they're going to bring the bomb A. Surely. Oh, no, never mind. It's not going to wind up mattering. They'll win the round.
Yeah, I think especially as C-Power with the open flip were already on the B site.
Yeah.
It was unlikely they were going to go A. But as you say, I mean, if that first trade maybe goes the way of Heroic, things may have shaped up nicely for the Danes again. Rest in peace, Burrup. You're not going to be able to save that AWP.
Nope. Very near the graveyard, so again, being thoughtful of not having to go too far with the corpse, but ForZe do fight right back. 7-6 is where we sit now, and money is pretty rough for Heroic. So this is the chance for ForZe to dart out in front even more, but remember, Heroic did win a round very similar to this not that long ago with a pretty similar setup, so... But not this time, it doesn't feel like.
Well, they are already committing a lot of forces up on Banana, and it's 3 players here. That grenade chunking Stab and killing Burrup in the process. Molotov follows it up, spraying up through the smoke. There's going to be no survivors this round for Heroic. They are being put down where they stand. And Cadian is like, well, I guess I'll just chill on Fountain then. I'll get some pretty scenery for my tomb.
Those goldfish are immortal, by the way, man. Get rid of them.
Unfortunately, Cadian isn't.
Nope. Thought maybe the water was going to do it for him, like the Lazarus pit, but not the case. So there you have it. 1 round left to go in the half. ForZe do have the lead. They've guaranteed themselves that, but can they extend it that 1 step further? Full buy coming out from Heroic. They do have full rifles, AWP, utility, everything that they could want. But ForZe have been on a heater on the tail end of this first half.
Too hot for Cadian to handle. Up mid. Certainly not what Heroic were hoping for. It was them that led 8-7 going into the second half of Overpass. Now it's looking likely that ForZe will do 2 better. Or 3 better, pardon me. Molotov deployed onto the top of Banana. Stavin playing the close angle. Meanwhile, Snappy also watching in case a flash comes in from Coffins.
Yeah, utility still coming here at mid. It's really keeping S-Attack kind of landlocked on this position. But we do see Burrup making the rotation, but it's down in a weird off angle. It does not pay off. And now we see the entry force coming in, but Burrup is holding on for dear life with Snappy.
Burrup has been laid to rest. Here is Snappy, though. Trying to clip at the heels of the oncoming Russians towards B. Molly's going to be extinguished, but the P250 perforating the smoke and the head of Snappy, leaving S-Attack. He has landed some big moments on this map, some clutch plays. He's going to have to do it all over again. Smoke at the front of the site to allow him to nade, but I think Split knew exactly what was coming up. Molotov placed down a pool. They're starving him of time, starving him of oxygen. Trying to relocate, see if he can just land a headshot through the smoke and try and get back onto the site in enough time. There's no kit for him, there's no nades, there's no hope, and no health. ForZe going to lead 9-6 going through to the second half here of Inferno, and we'll find out what happens next after this break.
There's fire on the doorstep, searchlights in the hall. What a difference a day makes. Just to think that yesterday we had it all. Blame me for the sorrow and the dark clouds in the sky. You can say you're justified, I'll be your alibi. You can blame it all, you can blame it all, you can blame it all on me. You can blame it all, you can blame it all, you can blame it all on me. The sirens sang their warning. You just looked at me and laughed. Now I stand here in the ruins, all alone with just these faded photographs. Frame me for the murder tried. I'll be your alibi. You can blame it all, you can blame it all, you can blame it all on me. You can blame it all, you can blame it all, you can blame it all on me. I gave everything I had just to keep this love.
After a confident start from Heroic, they started to slip away as ForZe woke up from their slumber. They now lead 9-6 on the CT side of their choice of map, Inferno, and Nuke will be up next if Heroic can't pull this back.
They poked the bear, Vince. You don't ever want to do that. So we'll see if ForZe can roll this into a victory in a map 3 on Nuke. That is certainly in the cards now more than ever. Heroic looking for some type of quick play up lane.
Tag already out, but already 4 players getting into close proximity. Jerry just being careful. There's no flashbang. That's the bomb in first. Gonna put that USP to work. Missing a lot of shots, and he's gonna get punished. Cadian bounces straight back. This opens up additional avenues of aggression towards B side. Flit using the tight angle.
Nice.
Oh, 2 1-taps in quick succession, and that's the bomb that goes with it. That's the play that could get ForZe back on the board again with another pistol. Stavins just fell back to the site. He's waiting for the re-aggression on the counter-terrorist. Biding his time. Katie, in the meanwhile, is slipping his way down middle. Could this be the moment for the youngster to show us again why he's touted as the next big thing from Denmark? Not quite. Face crack deals with him. Cadian now going to be the last player to step up to the plate. The very capable hands. Maybe steer them into a pistol round win. Not going to be the case. Flit certainly deserves the plaudits for that round.
You're seeing the examples of why he's the number 3 rated player in this tournament so far. Number 2 in damage per round. He's also going to be ranked in the top 5 for multi-kill rounds. And those were 2 beautiful crisp headshots with the USP. To stop what was looking like a very dangerous CT spawn press into Banana. He held this ground so well. So much pressure was on him. He was all alone, and he delivered. Double digits now for ForZe. You're not going to see the force up, though, from Heroic. Scout and play, a few deagles. Stown is such a nasty deagler, too, man, so I'll be interested to see if they can pose a threat in this round.
They can definitely not write off Heroic at this point, and they've already made some inroads up through mid towards the arches. Grenade goes over, minimal damage. Nothing that's really going to stop Heroic from pushing in. No one facing up Banana from the CTs, playing more passively.
Yeah. Smoke on Library will give Stown a bit more room to start edging out here on this Moto wrap. Perhaps get a pick through Arch or Library. Z-Power playing it from the statue inside the spawn. Keeping tabs. Still have a double stack over towards B. Double pit setup, or pit balcony rather, so still double on lane. This allows Moto to basically be freely wrapped. It's going to be the Z-Power's timing with the UMP and Library. It's going to be big.
Could be peeking into S-Attack, though, with a deagle. This could quickly shape the round and how it's going to come down. It's a good flashbang. It was actually tossed in by Face Crack. And so all of those potential hurdles have been dealt with. Z-Power tagged up, also returns fire. There's the drive-by from Stavin, and Burps also came in. Face Crack now is caught between 3 terrorists engaging him. He's being killed slowly but surely from arches before he fires back, and Burp deals with him. M4 now trading hands, and Burp does have Kevlar to supply it. Bomb going to be planted by Cadian. They can't stop this plant. He may very well burn alive, but now Burp, he's stepping up big. He's been dinked, but it's an MP9 up against the M4. And the assault rifle's going to come out second best. Jerry just about clutching, but the CT's lost 5 weapons.
Yeah, team ace coming in there from ForZe. Burp almost pull out the clutch. That's a brilliant little play. That's what Heroic's really good at on this A side of the map. And you're going to see that in rifle rounds as well. They're really great at these multi-pronged attacks on A. Their smokes are really good. The stagger, any type of defense, rotations, or vision once they get control of top middle. Stown's going to be such a big player up lane, usually. Very good entry player out of the boiler. And then Burp's going to be that guy making those timing attacks outside of the apartments on that balcony when he finds a perfect round to strike and blindside someone. So I think that's going to be the big thing ForZe will have to do to keep this lead up and get the map victory, is just put a stop to Heroic's really good A set pieces.
Ooh. The Scout triumphs over the AWP, and Cadian could have another. A bit of over-aggression on the side of Jerry, but he is able to scamper away. Smoke deployed. Kaden wasn't sure if it's a flashbang, turns his back.
Surely not.
If Jerry goes down here, B is just open for business. And he will! S-attacks Galil. Mops the floor with him. Now, of course, they don't know that he was the last line of defense, so they're going to play this cautiously. Does allow Almeza to move in.
They get a free op, too, from that Vince, and they get the upgrade that Galil into an M4. Actually, Snappy's still holding on to it. Weren't able to push that much further to find the other gun. Wanted to be very careful about it. They still have Burp holding position inside apartments. Now they're gathering up towards the middle with the bomb. They still have the smokes to block off pit if they want to run up lane or smoke off library, whatever they choose. They do have exactly what they need to try to isolate one of these players from each other and really just try to work their way in. And it looks like they are indeed going to go for that Moto Rat play. Again, they have the smoke they need to safely cross around library and arch.
Almeza making a move from B to A. And gets a swift kick in the D. Split in the meanwhile, though, from the back of pit. It's opening up with the M4. And Face Crack off the site is going to be able to repel the oncoming tease, but for how much longer? He didn't expect the alcove peak. And you can understand why. It's a bit of an off angle. And Heroic got it done. That was such a poor buy for them. That Cadian scout shot to open up round was so sick.
Oh, absolutely. And then the follow-up from S-Attack with the Galil, just such a great trade on top banana with limited resources. That's the kind of rounds that's going to be nightmare fuel for ForZe if they don't wind up recovering and just winning this map. They're still well out in front, but the problem is their money is quite low. Mat 10s are going to even come out here for Heroic to try to farm some extra dollars, and this is where the game all of a sudden opens right back up. This is where the economy becomes fragile. This is where Heroic can find round number 8. They put themselves in touching distance of ForZe's lead. Again, this is a map that we saw them play Avangard very close yesterday. They've been able to win it in the past. Sample size is small, so we can't know how good they are on pressure situations on this map, but so far, they've kept it interesting.
Yeah, tenacity shown as well, able to pull that one back, but ForZe, they have let a lot of these rounds slip through. It was the same with Overpass, and that will become a bit of a concern here.
That's so ridiculous.
That is such a slick shot. And we saw it from Flit's perspective, by the way. He had the drop on Katie, and Katie went for the shoulder peek. That's one of the perks of being a scout, though, obviously. You get more movement.
A little bit more mobility, exactly. The accuracy on it is actually not that bad. You see them kind of spotting each other out here at middle. This time Z-Power's trying to be taking the scout to Cadian. Misses his opportunity. No big deal, though. At least he's still alive.
I wanted to return the favor. Doesn't quite pay off for him.
He's still going for it, too. Still holding this position, and now Cadian says, nah, that ain't me.
I was going to say, with a buy like this, and when you have a buy on the horizon, you can go for these aggressive plays, but they force ball into the rounds. They have nothing left in the bank. Jerry's just been smashed up through the wall, courtesy of Cadian's AWP.
It's one of those situations where they knew that Heroic's economy was low, so if they could force buy and somehow pull a rabbit out of the hat, then they would have Heroic back to saving or force buying in their own right. That's when you can really kind of just keep maintaining a pretty big lead, but it hasn't panned out. They have to just save these 3 guns over at B. At the very least, they at least kind of claim the Mac 10 from Snappy, so that gives them a little bit more into the next round, but obviously this is going to be Heroic, probably one of the next couple off of how things have played out so far.
Well, you'd certainly think so. As you say, though, a little bit of firepower for ForZe to try and utilize. Aren't going to be chasing them down, either are the Danes. So maybe some more twists and turns. You can see that middle portion of the map was heavily dominated by ForZe. Looking at the stats here, ADR 94 for
Cadian has 21 effective flashes. Jesus.
Not bad.
He had a lot on Overpass as well. I didn't mention it, but I think he had over 20 effective flashes on Overpass as well. And that's great when you're Opper. He's not always going to be going for the aggressive peak. Sometimes he's going to be setting up his other players. He's done a great job of it.
Yeah, I think it's usually the middle players get a lot of effective flashes. And he was holding from Arch. Take nothing away from Cadian, of course, but most flashes through mid are going to hit somebody. Let's have a look how it's shaping up for ForZe. And, well...
And scene.
Yeah.
So they do have an A stack, and there is that chance that if Heroic kind of tripped the fuse over here, they could be in for a tough one. But so far, just kind of keeping it default. Usually seeing S-Attack and Snappy doing that B control play. They fall off of it pretty early, though. They actually are going to run to the stack, Vince.
Are being softened up by grenades before the push comes in. Face Crack. 5-7, slightly off. I'm not going to get second chances when you have the pistols up against a full arsenal of weaponry. Have to make each and every bullet count. Flashbang through. Almeza untouched by it. But Burrup has some AK-47 rounds as friends that will follow up the flash. It was a bit of a mess in mid. Fortunately, it was the P shooter of the USP that greeted them.
Snappy also getting a little bit extra money because he was able to get the MAT 10 frags. That's gonna, you know, just add a little bit to the coin jar. So we're gonna see now Heroic route back over to B to get this bomb planted and finish off this round. They will go up to 9, just 2 away from tying this game up to 4. As ForZe will be able to buy back into the next round though, so that'll be a bigger test for the Danes. See if they can still keep the 2-0 dream alive. Obviously they have that third map safety net, having claimed Overpass.
Come on, S-Tag, get the kill. Get that team ace. No, Snappy, don't do it. Oh, you had the chance, S-Tag. Why does it happen?
Why are you so upset?
Jerry's out there as well.
Upset
Does have
spaghetti.
Kevlar. He's going to be hunted down, though, to be fair. He's just looking for some exits. Obviously, the kill reward bonus, if he can get one with the MAC 10, is going to be significant. Some extra grenades going to fall his way. His team are going to have a buy regardless of what happens, of course, to Jerry. And it's going to be a bullet to the dome.
Yeah, curtains fall there onto Jerry. 9-11 is indeed where things sit at this very moment in time, but ForZe will be back onto the buy. Z-Power with AWP. That's the guy you feel like needs to get going, man. He's usually their leading fragger. He had a lot of impact on Overpass. He's, again, one of the top-rated players in this tournament next to Flit, so I feel like if he can get going, that is what will hold Heroic off. Meanwhile, Stound's also been quite quiet this game in comparison to the rest of the tournament, so imagine if he comes online, then their comeback effort's probably a real reality for Heroic.
Another player that was a beast on the Overpass as well. He hit high 20s,
Yep.
just shy of 30 kills. So the two Talismen have certainly had a quiet one. Grenades ricocheting off the wall. Jerry's going to take a bit of damage.
And the flip side of that, I've been impressed with Cadian. I mean, he had a kind of a slower day yesterday, even made a tweet about it, but he's come in today and he's played really well in both these games so far. So you are seeing them look to gear up and go for Banana. It is mostly Almazer here. He's going to get reinforced by Jerry now. Here's the problem, Vince. They have 2 smokes, so they can bog down Banana, but when it comes to retaking, they just don't have a lot of options. No kit, no incendiaries, no nades, limited flashes. It's going to be tough. They need to win this initial duel.
Have to channel it in at Leonidas and make their last stand. As you say, they can't really hope to have second chances. Smoke out. This is why they're going aggressive. They're taking the fight to Heroic. The bomb carrier is the last remaining player perched up. Snappy.
Ooh, that's risky, buddy.
He is really playing with fire here.
He is going to back off, though, so no harm, no foul. They're going to look to explode on the middle. Z-Power, though, has a forward angle, and so does his teammate Flit.
That's a smoke, not a flash. Flit knows it. Time dwindling away. Heroic still haven't really got through onto the site. Getting mid's one thing, but converting it an entirely different
So low on
puzzle
time, too.
altogether. Now they're going to start to make a move in. Z-Power watching Arches. He has face crack in pit, just been Molotov'd out. Flashbang going to come up high. 10 seconds to go. The Danes have got to scramble onto the site. They're getting kills. Is it going to be enough time, though? Z-Power is doing such a solid job. And the back of the bomb is not going to get planted in time. Again, a matter of milliseconds.
I thought they had it. Burrup was the guardian angel from pit to make sure that Op couldn't push forward enough to stop the plant. So I really did think that they were going to pull it off. But again, it's that problem where you're just a little bit too hesitant. You push the site maybe a second or two faster. All of a sudden, you get that kill on Z-Power's Op inside the site. You get the bomb planted, and you probably do win that round. I think they had great positioning. Everything seemed to be lining up for them, but again, they just took a bit too long on pulling the trigger, and now ForZe are up 12-9.
But it's deja vu.
So fragile, though.
It's deja vu, though, because ForZe did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
On the same site, the same position.
Heroic do still have a good shot, though, here, because, I mean, when you look at the money of ForZe, if Heroic are able to pull this round off, you're probably going to push it to 11-12, and you're still going to be in decent shape. So while that round certainly stings, they're not out of it yet. ForZe still need to win a couple of big rounds. And it's going to be a lot harder to do because this round's kind of similar to the last. They do have a little bit more utility. They do have that one kit, but they're on 2 UMPs.
We have plenty chapters to go in this story of Inferno, no doubt. Both teams juking it out the center of the ring. Smoke's going to be deployed. Your standard, your classics, 1 CT, 1 coffins. Do have a player boosted up in Almeza.
Yeah. That's always the thing. Are you going to check this booster or not? Like, that's always the question that has to be asked, and depending on the answer, it kind of depends on how the rest of the round is going to go. Again, Heroic are taking their sweet time here. We do see that Stound's done enough to kind of keep them interested at middle. So it's still just going to be this two-man B defense, the crossfire on the boost and in dark corner. But there are going to be Molotovs and smokes that could be pushing these people into odd positions.
Almeza playing anti-flash. They're going to be resting on him. It's a slow hit. They try to put out S-Attack. First point of action, Jerry's changed positions. Almeza's also chipped in for a frag, but his buddy has died on the site. Cavalry has arrived. Not quite in time to stop the plant. 3 players survive for the T's. The Dane's gonna regroup at the back of the site towards dark. And new box, Cadian waiting, anticipating a peek, and he's gonna be rewarded for his patient play. Face cracks the player to fall, there's more coming in. He shoots between them, but now it's up to Snappy with his SG. He's gonna whiff a bunch of bullets and the smoke in the eyes of Burrup. He knows where the bomb's planted, and he trusts the call from his teammates.
Oh no.
The diffuser's coming in, he's running out of bullets, he needs to peek it again! Just in the nick of time! The Danes strike gold, and double digits will be theirs.
Oh, that was such a tense one, but Burrup pulls it off. Again, just knowing where that bomb is, having faith in his aim to spam through when he saves the day. Also gives some credit to Snappy and Cadian here. It was very tricky how they both boosted on top of the dark corner boxes. So Cadian gets a kill. He repositions up top there. They frag him. They don't expect the second guy to be there. So at least it allows Snappy to get another frag and at least made it a more manageable clutch opportunity for Burrup. Just want to throw that little bit of insight in there, as we are going to see ForZe now on really nothing, right? No armor, just some upgraded pistols, no utility, no nothing. So it should be round number 11 for Heroic, as we were kind of alluding to earlier.
Yeah, harkens back to the point you made exactly after the heartbreak of not getting the plant in time. You're like, Heroic is still in this game.
Yeah. I think, again, though, the one thing that I am worried about going forward, you know, even though Heroic will likely win this round, they're putting themselves right on the heels of ForZe, and they've played an overall pretty good game, is that whole running the clock down too low thing gonna keep haunting them? Like, they barely got away with one in the last round because of it.
Oh, they're not going to be taking their time this time around. Jerry, that one deke. Cheeky plays. Snappy gets splattered.
Yep. Taking the mind to throw a gun out the map so it can't be reclaimed by anyone from ForZe. Just kind of that small little details that do help you out in the long term, as they are now going to look to press forward on this A-bomb. So there are 2 players in position, but again, they don't have a whole lot to work with. It would be kind of a miracle to see them put a hold here. They are getting an extra rotation, though, from Z-Power, so 3 players will be over here. It gives them their best chance to win, but again, it's still so limited.
The tap from Stavin, who is seemingly waking up a little bit from a slow start. It is against an ecoed up team. Can't get too carried away, Z-Power. Make them sweat it a little bit more with a deep kill, but it is going to go the way of the Danes as expected. With about 12 seconds to go, the bomb plant is forthcoming. Almeza's CZ on the prowl to maybe try and take one of these guns away. Bolster up their bite.
And you can start seeing the Heroic fans get energized. They now know that Heroic are starting to get out of the woods. They're not quite out yet, but they are very near now tying this game up, keeping that 2-0 hope a real possibility. ForZe tournament life on the line right now. They've done well to make these playoffs, to kind of build off of their performance at last Moscow and some of their online play throughout the year that's keeping people interested in this team, but they might get silenced here soon if they don't figure this out. Spam, woo. All right, well. Woo.
ForZe, though, straight back in with another purchase. It's going to include no kits, though, Dust.
Nope. Limited utility as well is always going to be a big factor in retakes, as we've kind of talked about throughout this game. So it does make it a little bit harder on them. They have to make different decisions. Looking to try to challenge here on top of Banana early. It is, again, that brawl that we've kind of been expecting, and what is also classic about this map, triple nade stacking down Banana. They have dumped so much. It's been an airstrike on the strip, but nothing has actually chipped away at Heroic. They're still fully healthy. They haven't burned that much of their own utility, and so that's fine. That's really helped out Heroic for maybe a later beat hit if they decide to go that direction. The apartment's aggression, though, is another big factor in all of this.
It has been a constant, too. Heroic have been toing and froing around this area. So ForZe have got to respect it. Smoke deployed in mid, just to allow them a little bit more time to get back to the site.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about Heroic on Inferno, man. Like, they really have good fundamentals. Like, they have set roles. You know, you always know that Burup's going to be controlling those apartments. Down's going to be floating mid or boiler. They're good at setting up their initial map control. It's all about the mid-round decision-making and the speed of which. But Jerry actually catches one up close. Snappy, though, luckily brings that right back. It's a big trade to get if you're Snappy, to keep yourself on equal footing in what could have been a very tense situation otherwise. Still 2-on-B defending, and I mean, Heroic are thinking about maybe regressing towards top middle now. They already have Burup in that direction with Stound.
There's been no push behind the initial trades, so they are keeping a 2-2 formation. Power, who originally was peeking mid, is now backed away towards the arches. They are still trying to fake this out. They're trying to draw Z-Power out into the open, but he is up to the task. He knows exactly what they're going for. He is not going to be baited. It's a good flashbang. Going to keep spraying through him because Z-Power was so very low he couldn't afford it. The time again is so very low though on the side of Heroic. 15 seconds to go, and the bomb is moving up Banana. But Flit, if he can get a kill, this round is done. He's gonna get smoked off.
Over.
6 seconds, it's done. Heroic have played themselves out the round again.
I think the big detail that you have to realize on how the round goes this way is because Burup, off that utility, was going to sell the fake even further. He was meant to press into the site, be the one guy entering, because obviously if you throw a bunch of nades and nothing happens, you kind of know, okay, this is a fake. Like, this is just them dumping utility to keep us in position. We know what's going on. But Burup was going to try to sell it by pushing in. The problem is Z-Power spotted that arch rotation before Burup could actually press into the B site, and it basically killed any illusion that Heroic were trying to pull over ForZe's eyes. So 13 now for the Russians.
Quick boost. There is a smoke down there though, blocking them. S-Attack tosses a nade in, does negligible damage. The player up close here though, with the MP9 could be a real nuisance. That grenade is money in the bank. But they haven't been able to collect it just yet.
They're pressing in though, Vince. We do see that Jerry's in a lot of trouble right now. His Smoke is going to block his vision. He gets a kill though before it actually blooms, so he actually gets them back into a winnable state, and they are having a rotation. They even have a flank from the Banana already.
He was looking to push through the smoke, but Cadian had already read the situation perfectly, just spraying up through there, gets the kill onto him. Cadian though, having a peek down Banana, gonna lose his life. In comes Flit, but his face crack that's doubling up with kills, and a third. He is ripping through Heroic. And ForZe going to get the successful retake, 14-11.
Yeah, despite the fact that Heroic was actually getting some good headway into B, you just saw that one little timing play before the smoke blooms, that initial frag coming in. Also, this Banana flank came in so fast from face crack. There was no preparations in place yet from Heroic to deal with that type of action. The speedy, chaotic play here from ForZe on these big rotations have been a real problem for Heroic. Again, the clock has been their enemy several rounds throughout this half. It feels like they need something to change. They need to pick up the pace. They need to try to just plow in.
Seems like they agree with that sentiment. But it's going to be aggression that goes completely against them. Z-Power did end up killing himself somehow. But ForZe don't care. 4 map points.
Hey man, 6 frags are better than 5, you know? That is how math works, I think. Me and math have a bad history with each other, but here we go. ForZe on the cusp of forcing a third map on Nuke, and it seems like such a big reality considering Heroic have very little to work with in this round, Vince.
Well, yeah, speaking of poor math, the accountant's not happy with how much he had to work with in this round.
I mean, Denmark is expensive, Vince. Those kroners will get you.
That's very true. Copenhagen, it's a beautiful city, mad expensive.
They will destroy your wallet.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. Would you like a beer? That'll be 20 euros. Unfortunately, Heroic need to do some quick work if they want to be able to celebrate with those brewskis, because right now they're about to be forced to a map 3. Again, just kind of taking a slow approach.
Smoke deployed onto Banana. He's going to put a stop to S-Attack's aggression, who was the first player in. App's control, though, is falling the way of Burup, and he desperately wants to get through that smoke, but he's going to think better of it. He would have no support, ultimately. The rest of his team's stuck in mid.
Yeah. They're going to try to see if they can't overwhelm this lane side with their utility. They're going to try to sneak him in, actually, with this smoke wall. We'll see if Burup can have that impact. I feel like that is going to be the X factor.
C-Power perched up on the graveyard. The flashes are good, but C-Power can still just about claim the kill. Flit with his M4, putting them down. There's a gap in this smoke, and C-Power's making the most of it. That's the tag. Final player up, final player down. Nuke will be our deciding battleground.
Well, Blessed on the Destiny won the Slobber Knocker, and he had 3 reasons for why that could be the case, and it feels like he's pretty spot on at this point, man. We had a great game on Overpass that was pretty close. Heroic kind of in control the whole time, but at least we saw ForZe keep it respectable. And then here on Inferno, despite the fact that Heroic had a really good start in the first half, and it felt like, the 2-0 seems to be on the horizon, we all saw ForZe dig deep, man. They made some really great decisions throughout that game, and now they forced us into map number 3 on Nuke. So we're going to get a 3-mapper here in the semifinals, Vince. You'd love to see it.
Really do, especially as it's Nuke. I really want to see what these teams have in store. Could be an absolute barn burner, to use an NA expression.
Yeah, a knee slapper, if you want to keep that one going. But we're not. We're going to take it to break. When we come back, we're bringing you map 3, so stay tuned.